Hey everybody, welcome to the MURCA Guns and Freedom podcast with your host, me, the Yankee Marshal, or Yankee for short to a lot of people. Yankers, the Wanky Marshal, a lot of things people call me. But this is just a conversation between me and my viewers, as usual. So if you've got a question you want to ask me, doesn't have to be gun related, could be politics, can be wrestling, can be cars, motorcycles. Anything that's a manly man topic that you think I would know about being a manly man, go ahead and ask. If you want to hear my opinion on any topics, go ahead and suggest a topic of conversation. If you want to call me out on something you disagree with me on, like if you're one of these people who thinks Trump's actually doing something for gun rights, come on in and let me know. We'll do a Spank the Yank episode like we did last night, where you can come on and express your opinion. And I can agree with you, disagree with you, etc. I love it when people come in and educate me, let me know why they think I'm wrong. I love it, love it, love it. So do it. Otherwise, I like to start the night reading orders we got for merchandise, because merchandise helps support the TYMP fund. That's where we choose 4 families every month and provide them with the means to protect their family by giving them a basic firearm or shotgun so that they're not defenseless in this society simply because they can't afford it. Maybe they're living on a fixed income, they're elderly, they're single mother, all kinds of different reasons that people can't afford firearms. So we help take up the slack for those people. You people do. You make it possible. So, and buying merchandise is one of the ways you make that possible. So I want to say thanks to people who do that. Let's see here. Today we got orders from Gardner Eastland. He got the Popeye shirt, the fuck spinach. It's Popeye with a .357 Magnum revolver. And John Heasley bought some magnets. What do you got? He got the fuck spinach one too, the Popeye one. And he got the True Purpose of the Second Amendment magnet. That's a design I do over there. It's not an upbeat design. It's the true purpose of the Second Amendment is not PC and it's not pretty. The true purpose of the Second Amendment is to spill the blood of the government if they ever stop serving the people, which I think we know they no longer serve the people. They serve 1% of the people, but not the other percentage. So he got that one. That's one of the more darker designs I got over there. But go buy something. Help support the TYMP. Most of it's all whimsical and happy, but that one's not so whimsical and happy. So thanks to those 2 people for helping support TYMP. We didn't get any new subscribers or Subscribe Star people or patrons today. In fact, we lost some, but we did get 1 new free member. And I wanted to say welcome to them. It was Marissa Fontaine. Now that might be a woman, and that would be odd that we got a woman that would support the channel. We've only got a few of those. So you would be in small company. But maybe we'll win them over. They're just a free member right now, but maybe we will win them over. Also, remember, you can, anytime you want to support this channel and the programs it runs, remember this channel, I don't try to sell you discount codes and all that stuff. I just try to help get people to be involved. If you like my content and you want me to keep making content, support the channel and support the programs we run, like TYMP we just talked about, Pets and Vets program, where we help veterans charity, pets charities, mostly pet charities, probably 90%. Every month, the Voices program, where we help fund other YouTube gun channels, keep them on the air, keep them active. So if you want to support any of that, go on over to tympistolproject.com. From that one website, you can become a Subscribe Star member. You can become a Patreon member. You can donate on a one-time basis. There's a link there to buy merchandise. If you want to go over and buy, well, I'm not wearing my merchandise today. I'm wearing somebody else's. But if you want to buy merchandise over there, support the cause, you can do it from that website, and you can register to be a recipient of TYMP if you think you're someone who could benefit from that. Last night, the person who did the Slap the Yankee segment was someone who had benefited from TYMP, so that was nice to hear. So let's get on with the chat here tonight. Let me go over and see if we've got any super chats coming in before I get to the regular chat. See if anybody's paying their tithes to Phil tonight. What's today's date? It's the 11th. So we got Dale Rickety weighing in here. And he said, oh, hail Phil. Phil is cool. Yes, Phil's very cool. Phil is the cat's pajamas, as the young people say these days. I think young people still say that. Don't they say that? Cat's pajamas. And Dale Rickety also got an entry into the friend drawing. Or the silver bullet drawing. Smith & Wesson Bodyguard, said Jude Resignola. That was, I think, to do with our first segment today during the, what do I call that? Shooting the shit with a Yankee. It's a good option for women. The bodyguards are nice, especially that easy racking slide system they got. That's nice. The Smith & Wesson EZ, what is that? What it's called? That was based on the bodyguard, wasn't it? That's a nice gun. Johnny Mandrick chimed in. Jude Resignola also got an entry into the silver bullet drawing. Johnny Mandrick chimed in, paid his tithe to Phil, and got a couple entries into the silver bullet drawing and says, are possums Phil's angels? Well, no, they're not his angels, but he's very fond of them. He thinks they're probably one of the better mammals. He's not a big fan of mammals, period. But, you know, he accepts that we have a place in the world, and possums are one of his favorites. He thinks they're very beneficial creatures, very misunderstood. People he's not as fond of, but he knows we're the dominant species, so he, you know, gives us a little leeway, but he's not so happy with a lot of the things we do. That's why you got to keep him happy. You got to pay your tithe, because if you don't pay your tithe, like I said, he will send a tornado and blow your trailer away, probably with your baby still in it. So you got to keep him happy. So if you haven't paid your tithes out there, pay them. There's 120 people in here, and so far only like 4 people have paid their tithe. You're getting all this entertainment. You can go pay a minimum $2 tithe to Phil to help support the Pets and Vets program. I mean, this ain't free, you know. Kevin Payton also chimed in over here and said, when you were living in Point Pleasant, did you see the Mothman? Not that I know of. If so, does have moth balls or regular balls? Or does he have moth balls? Well, I would assume he has moth balls, because he's a moth man, not a moth girl. And I don't think he's been neutered. That's neutered, right? I always get neutered and spayed mixed up with dog. It's neutered is males and spayed is females. So I don't think he's been neutered. So he should have mothballs, I would hope. But no, I never saw him that I know of. I have to add that I know of, because you never know what. I've seen lots of crazy things. I don't know what everything I've ever seen actually is. There's lots of things in my life I've seen that I have no explanation for. I mean, I've been a lot of places, been around a long time, seen a lot of weird things. Can't explain all of them. But here's one of the big differences between me and some people. I don't jump to supernatural. I don't say, oh, since I don't understand this, there must be some magic behind it. No, I go, hey, there's something I can't identify, probably because I ain't that bright and I got limited, knowledge. Someone else probably would know what it was. Like if you see some natural phenomenon. Like once I saw what I learned later in life was ball lightning, that we were out in a field coming down the hill one day, and it looked like a big ball of light kind of rose up from the ground and just hovered and then took off. I was like, there's no way in the world I could explain what that was at the time. I later learned that it was ball lightning. I didn't even know that was a thing. But I just don't go to the supernatural. There's so many things in the universe that are just crazy insane, but have a basis in physics and science that I don't understand. That I don't need to try to make up superstition to explain things to make them more interesting. I think it's more interesting trying to understand the real thing. We also got Kevin Mabry weighing in here. He just said for Phil, and he got a couple entries into the silver bullet drawing. Silver bullet drawing. Has anyone seen Andrew P. lately? I know he got his silver bullet, but he never said he got it. I hope he hasn't had to use it to protect himself from a werewolf. Oh, and I hope he didn't have to use it to protect himself from 2 werewolves. And the second werewolf was like, well, I bet he doesn't have 2 silver bullets. Because that would be awful, in theory. I got to pour my drink. I never poured my drink before. Usually I pour it too soon. Tonight I didn't pour it at all. I've been drinking lemonade. I got to drink my soda. I got to get my caffeine, or I'm going to get a horrible headache. I got a migraine the other day, and I think it's because I hadn't had enough caffeine. But some people think not that a caffeine headache can spur a migraine if you're prone to migraines. I don't know if that's been proven yet, but it's one of the things I always said, watch out for if you get migraines. Don't let yourself get into a caffeine deficit. So I try not to. I mean, I drink a lot of Pepsi. Pepsi sugar-free these days because, I got the diabetes. But otherwise, all right, let's get on with the chat here. Don't forget to pay your tithes, like I said to Phil, but let's get on here. Let's go over to the regular chat. I've got all the YouTube ones taken up here. Let me get over here, see if there's anything coming in I can see. Marxist Democrats abolishing cash bail. Well, I don't think that's Marxist. I think that's fair. I've never been a fan of cash bail. I've never been a fan of, no matter how, no matter what you do, as long as you're rich, you won't be held accountable. You can get out. No. If someone who lives in a trailer is accused of the same thing, if they have to sit in jail, you have to sit in jail. If you get out, they get out. There needs to be a system that has more fair equity. I don't like the cash bail system. Never been a fan. I don't think there's anything Marxist about that. It's more fascist, the cash bail system is. I would love to hear how you think that's Marxist to do away with a cash bail system. And plus, did you get your silver bullet? I was just talking about you. Good gun for women would be the Fire Star in 9mm or 40. Well, yeah, good luck finding one. I don't think there are very many around today. Sex offenders with misdemeanors in Iowa and Pennsylvania can get a VCA. Should sex offenders be armed? Also, a Nebraska school principal killed a sex offender. Anyone who's free in society should be able to have a gun. If you're a free citizen, you should be able to exercise your Second Amendment rights. If you've committed a sex crime bad enough that you lose your Second Amendment rights, you should be in jail. And that should be the only option to you, is be in jail until you're reformed. Firm believer of that. You don't get to say, well, this crime surely would mean they lose their constitutional rights, even if they're out of jail. Or this crime, well, if they do this, that's an exception to the rule. No, if they're free, they get to keep their rights. And if you think that what they've done is bad enough, well, then lock them up. Prove they did something that bad and lock them up. Here's the thing, though. Most sex offenders never did anything that bad. I was reading a study from, I think it was from the FBI, was talking about sex crimes and sex offenders in the United States. And about 90% of them never did anything that you probably haven't done. Had sex with someone while they were drunk and you were drunk. Things like that. Or had sex with the wrong person when you're both young and their parents don't like it and they get you charged with a sex crime. Some people now that are sex offenders, all their only crime was they sent photos, explicit photos of themselves. There's people right now, 16, 17 years old, that have been convicted of distributing child pornography because they sent a picture of their penis to another girl. To a girl, I should say, not another girl. They have a penis, they're not a girl. Well, they can identify as one, I guess, and I'm okay with that, but still, girl or boy shouldn't be sending pictures of your penis to other people unless they want it. But still, there was one case I read, a boy, 17 years old, sent a nude picture, was exchanging nude pictures with a 16-year-old girl. The dad found it, brought the police involved. He got charged with distributing child pornography and had to plea bargain and accept being registered as a sex offender. Now tell me where he did something wrong, where he should lose his constitutional rights. You got to be real careful when you allow people to indoctrinate you that just certain terms can make you go, "Ooh, that person ain't a real person," simply because you've applied that term to them. No, I don't like that. It makes it too easy to manipulate you. All right, where am I at? Where was I at? What happened here? Dad in Minnesota killed a sex offender with a moose antler. Well, yeah, what was the sex offender doing, though? Was it like a 35-year-old man raping a 12-year-old, or was it, 18-year-old boy having sex with a 16-year-old daughter that they've known each other since grade school? You got to know the details. Like even the word pedo, you got to watch out who they label. Like that one guy who came in here was like, these people are pedophiles that are engaging in the naked bike ride because they know kids are watching them. That's not a pedophile. It's got nothing to do with pedophilia, period. But you try to send that label to them. That way you can say, I disagree with these people. And since I can call them a pedophile, you should automatically go, well, these are monsters and they shouldn't have any rights. That's how people operate. No. You can't let labels have that much power because it takes power away from you and it takes away the responsibility for you to think. Good evening, EO Fardette. Walther PPK for the ladies. I don't know if I would give a lady Walther that because they're hammered. The slide is a little hard to rack. You have to cock that hammer first if you want to rack that slide more easily. I mean, I guess you can teach them to do that, but it's a little more complicated of a gun to work properly. I want a car magnet of the new Phil design. Well, I could probably do that. Oops, excuse me. Oh, by the way, for people who don't know, since we brought it up here, here's the new Phil design. If you want to become a member of the Church of Phil, which, by the way, remember, is not a cult because I ain't having sex with nobody in it. And even though I'm the leader of it, the fact that I ain't having sex with nobody means it ain't a cult. So, but that's the new one right there. It says, Phil loves you, but he will fuck you up. You don't pay your tithes, etc. You do something he really offends him, he'll fuck you up. So keep that in mind. He's loving. He's a loving God, but he's also a very petty and mean one. So if you want to join the Church of Phil, we're going to have a new scroll at the end of the videos eventually that replaces the Save the 40s scroll. That will be the Church of Phil. We've already got our elders set. We just don't have any new members yet. Regular members. Luigi, it jumped on me here. Hold on. Luigi Mangione receives nearly $300,000 for legal defense after accepting donations from crowdfunding campaign. Well, I'm surprised that's all he's gotten so far. I mean, people love him. He should be getting more than that, I would think. They took him out of the media real fast when they realized they tried their hardest to make him look like this is what happens when you fight back against the 1%. You'll be on a perp walk with the mayor of New York and all these other people, and you'll be public enemy number one, and everybody will hate you and spit on you in the streets. But then everybody went, yay for him. He's fighting back against the people, that guy who's been a mass murderer and killed thousands of people because he's rich and he can do it certain ways and he'll get away with it. And they went, oh, crap, that's not the result we wanted. Get him off the air. Will the United States Supreme Court allow Mexico to sue gun manufacturers? Well, I don't think they could, unless they can show the gun manufacturers are actually... Now, here's the only way the gun manufacturers could actually be charged, in my opinion. If the gun manufacturers are saying, let's make deals with cartels, or, hey, there's a cartel guy. We know he's associated with the cartel, and he wants to buy 1,000 AR-15s, and they're like, well, let's close our eyes and sign that deal, even though we know it's going to the cartels. Well, in that case, they should be sued. But if just guns that are making it from the free market to Mexico, well, no, there's no liability there. Only if the gun manufacturers are making direct deals with cartels to sell them weapons that they know are going to be used in illegal activities, then they're selling to foreign nationals. Well, then, yeah, I think that government should be able to sue them if they're doing that. But if it's just guns making its way down there, hell, sue the American government. The U.S. government provided a lot of them. The Fast and Furious bullshit. All right, let me get back over here, make sure we got everything answered. Nope, we got one coming in here. Ted Davis. Is that the guy that was on Married with Children? Ted something. That might be McKinley. He was on Happy Days too. Remember, he was on Happy Days. I think he was on Happy. Wasn't he on Happy Days? He was on something before he was on Marriage. I think it was Happy Days. He said, for the pets and the vets. He paid his tithe to Phil, and he got him some entries into the Silver Bullet drawing. So good for Ted Davis. I didn't even know he's a member. He needs to go get some Phil merch so he can be a Philistine. I don't the whole one. Someone said we should be fallopian tubes, but I don't tubers. But I don't know if I want that. That sounds. Bleh. Mikey D says Phil will fuck you up. Will. What? What does he say? Why did he emphasize the will? Phil loves you, but he will fuck you up. I don't know what is he saying. I should change something. I'm not sure there. I'm a little confused, which is not really off from the norm. What really varies every day is what I'm confused about. I'm at that age where I'm always a little confused about something. I'm always something like, I don't know about all that there then. But it just depends every day on what it is. And from minute to minute, what it is. It could be something new, something old, something whatever. I can just be like, well, I'm not sure about all that there. I don't know what that's about. But that's pretty much a common thing. You get used to it. It's not that bad, really. It sounds worse than it is, to be honest. You get used to it. Will is misspelled in the new design. It says Will. Oh, well, that's probably the one I just showed you is, I don't think the final one. Where is it? It is. I got to change. That's what he's saying. It's got 3 L's in it. Good God. How did I miss that? Well, that's why I put it up on Patreon before I actually make it anywhere. If you notice, if you're a Patreon member, you see all the designs before I ever make them, because I put them up and let everybody proofread them, because I'm not good at proofreading, because I've already looked at it. I know what it's supposed to say. So my brain tells me what it's supposed to say. So that's why I put them up on Patreon for proofreading. So I'm sure when I go over there, somebody will point that out to me and I'll make the change. It's not hard at this stage. That's why I haven't made any products yet, because I got to get it proofread first. Did you answer my question? I don't know what your question was. I don't remember a question. You asked me, should sex offenders have gun rights? And I answered that. So if that was your question, yes, I answered that. I sent you the email again. Okay, well, I will look for it again. Where is he over here? Should be right at the top. There it is. Woohoo! He's sending us some. Did you make those? The brass thread protectors? Those are kind of nice. See, I'll show the picture here. He sent me a picture of some brass thread protectors. Boom. See, them's pretty. Oh, if you had the brass grips, like the one gun I got the brass grips, and I put a threaded barrel on it, put that on it, that'd be a nice little accent. That'd be a pretty accent on it. Because I got that Walther. I'll have to get a threaded barrel for that Walther, because I'm going to need something for so I'll do that this week. Everybody did choose the barrel for the Subscribe Star giveaway, where we're giving away the zombie gun. They chose a threaded octagon barrel, not octagon. It's got the hexagons on it in black. I would have chosen the spiral one, but the hexagon will look good, I think, in it. But that's what they chose. Luckily, I already had one, because I couldn't buy one now. It'd be illegal. I'd be a criminal. But because I already had one laying around, just for such an occurrence, all kinds of parts here. And I know those are not, you can't really track those. So luckily I had some already, or else I would have been out of luck. Let's see. Let me get back to the questions here. Oops, what's going on? I don't know what I'm doing. I clicked on something there. Said, give me one of them Smith & Wesson Magnum 44s because there's a man that the law let loose and justice was not done. Well, that's vigilante justice, which I'm not totally against, but circumstantial. Like I always say, if someone hurt my kid, someone murdered one of my children, I would not care if I was going to jail, because why would I care if I'm miserable out in the real world or miserable in jail? I would take that person out in a very slow and painful way. And then the cops can take me out if they want to, but I would do that. I don't know if you were supporting Demolition Ranch, but apparently he is shutting down his channel. I never watched his channel. Why is he shutting down his channel? His channel's very successful. Now, I know he's a wealthy man. His channel's made him millions, and he's a vet, so he makes good money too. Why is he shutting down his channel? That's still a revenue source. I'm sure he'll leave it up, and still be a revenue source, but why would he not want to make new stuff? I don't know. I think I might be a supporter of Demolition Ranch. I don't support him actually. Like, I don't approve of what he does on his channel, but I still just, probably like a $2 supporter, just to be a patron. A lot of the channels, I'm just like a $2 supporter if I don't really like them. Now, like if I think you're an important voice, like Liberty Doll or something, I'll be more of a $10, $20 a month supporter. Some channels I even supported $100 a month. There's like 2 of them. But that one, him, it would be $2 if I am. I was a military arms one at like $5, but then he blocked me because I was able to see their shit they were putting up, their bullshit they were putting up when they were trying to start their Illinois Defense Fund, where they were trying to take people's money so they could have a defense fund for legislation in Illinois. And I was like, y'all are putting this in your pockets. And they were like, no, we're not. We don't take any salary. I'm like, are you taking expenses for your time? And I was cease and desist talking about our organization. Yeah, that's what I thought. I read that cease and desist on my channel. They never did sue me. So it's because they know if they sued me, I'd be able to say, okay, well, I want to see if y'all have taken any money and put it in your own pockets. See if what I said was right or not. You have to show whether what I said was true or not. Sex offender killed by school principal, Nebraska. Minnesota sex offender killed by dad with moose antler. Also, I read that already. Love my new Tomcat. When do you get yours? We'll take 2 weeks. So a week from when did I go get it? I think I ordered it last Friday. Was that when I ordered it? Last Friday or Thursday? Or it might be Wednesday. So I get it probably a week from tomorrow, maybe. Did I order it on a Wednesday? Does anybody remember what day I put that video up? Let's see. What's today's date? Today's the 11th. So that would have been about the 7th or so. Is that when I did it? Yeah, February 7th. So tomorrow would be, well, not a full week. So what was the 7th? February 7th was a Friday. So I went on a Friday and got it, which makes sense because that was payday. So I will not get it till the 21st. And that's if they deem me worthy. All right, let's get back to the questions here. Remember, if you got a question, send it in. We will try to get to all of them tonight. We only got a couple minutes left. Oh, Ted Davis chimed in again. What do you have to say now? Let's try this again for the P and the V. Well, you did it once already. I hope you didn't think it didn't go through the first time. It went through the first time. I read it, remember? Now you got even more entries, unless you end up rescinding one of those because you double did it. But yeah, he did it again. He still said for the pets and the vets, that's where it'll go. It'll go to P and V. What's the weirdest thing you experienced that you didn't understand? Oh, good God. I went on a Bigfoot expedition once, and I saw something across the valley on the hillside that I couldn't explain what it was. Still don't know. Like I said, the ball lightning thing always sticks up out in my mind because that was the most amazing thing I think I'd ever seen. And I don't know. And a lot of things are memories that you have from childhood that you don't know if they're real or not. You know, so it's just all kinds of things. I've seen things flying through the sky. I didn't know what they were. I've heard animals in the woods that I don't know what they are. You know, things like that. So it's just all kinds of weird stuff. Once upon a time, I heard Maxine Waters say something that made sense. That was crazy. I didn't know what was going on. Mikey D says, look at your damn pic. I did. I figured it out. Go Shadow said, sent email brass thread protectors. Yes, I showed them. Those are. Did you make those? Because those are kind of cool. I wish I had the tools to make stuff like that. I just don't. I used to have a full wood shop. I've never had metal working material tools. I've always wanted to get them, but then I get like, I would just kill myself or lose my fingers. I already have this finger, had to have it reattached, the tip of it. So I cut that thing off and I was like, oh my God, the bone's sticking out. Where's the fingertip? And it had flipped over and was pointing the other direction. It was like pointing down on this side of my finger. So I had to flip it back over, stick it on, and then run upstairs and say, I think I just cut my finger off. And we were remodeling our kitchen at the time, and I left a stream of blood all the way through the kitchen on the floorboards. So after we put the tile down in the kitchen, my blood is under there forever. So hopefully no one gets killed right there because they'll find my DNA on the spot. I ripped it off with a biscuit joiner. I was holding a piece of wood, too lazy to clamp it to put the biscuits in, and shoop, ripped it out of my hand, took fingertip with it. I think the most painful thing I ever did in my wood shop, though, is I was cutting a piece of wood, cutting it long ways on my table saw. And I had a big old table saw, bigger than this desk. And I'm running it through, and it hit a knot, and it kicked back, and it caught me right above my dick, just like right in that area. It just, boom, hit me real hard, turned me purple all across the front. I thought I'd ruptured something. It hurt so bad. But I did not have health insurance at the time, so I did not do anything about it. But it got better, and I lived, so I guess I didn't die. Well, man, I'm sure I didn't die. I guess I didn't do anything damaging or seriously damaging. Have you decided if you were going to boycott PSA yet or not? Well, from what I'm seeing, I think that was an isolated incident with some people. I heard back from one person that said they were just having a problem with their computer system, and they've got it fixed now. So I wasn't able to confirm any negative stuff, and was able to get a reasonable explanation for it. Hey, Yank, I was selected for TYMP a long time ago, and my emails aren't going through to you, unfortunately. A long time. Are you the one I got that said that's from like January of 2023? I sent you back an email. I said, I can't find your entry and stuff. Did you use that email when you sent it? I don't have that list anymore. It's 2 years ago. So I sent you the email. Hopefully you responded. If you're sending emails, they're coming through. If you're sending them to the right address. And that's the only one I've gotten recently about. And that was from January of 2023. Who was the email from? Hold on. I know I sent a response back, so I'll look in my sent email. Pat Ike. Still not finding anything from that email address. Because looking back through my emails for people who entered in 2023, I can't find one from that email address. So I sent an email. I sent you. I said it might take us a while to figure it out, but we'll figure it out. And hopefully they'll be understanding 2 years, trying to claim it 2 years after. So if it takes a little time. Demolition Ranch says he's doing it to spend more time with his family. He probably made enough money. Well, he's made more than enough money. He was never hurting for money ever in his life. He could have been a rich man even without YouTube. Makes me wonder, is there another reason? Because I know he quit doing his charity for animals because there was a lot of questions about whether it was really a charity for animals. So he quit doing that. So I wonder if there's other reasons for his channel going away. Is he worried about some liability for something? U.S. use military on cartels, ATF armed cartels. Yeah, it was the Fast and Furious thing I was talking about. The one on the right is medium. The one on the left is fine knurling, not cut as well. I didn't apply enough pressure. Read my other comments you missed. Oh, I don't see any comments from you that I missed. Don't never just say read my other comments, because that just does. I'm not going to scroll around and look. If I missed them, I missed them. Here's one. You can detect and communicate. Repeat your questions. Well, don't repeat them, but you can detect and communicate with ghost with EVP reporter. Yeah, that's all bullshit. My best friend's mom was really into that stuff, and I never saw anything of any. And those ghost shows, you think they'd have found something by now. They don't ever find nothing. Where were we? 2019, a small metal lathe was around $450. 2023, same lathe was up $750. I made both of those. Good. Good you made them, but yeah, they were not as expensive as they are now. Everything's more expensive now. I thought prices were supposed to be going down. It seems like maybe the president doesn't really have that much control over pricing. That's what I told people all along. I'm like, yeah, one thing, a lot of things you can blame Biden for, but the prices is not one of them. Same thing with Trump. You can't say, well, he's not doing anything to reduce prices. I mean, what can he do to reduce prices? He can't do anything. He can't tell companies what to charge for their product. Well, I mean, they could pass laws regulating these companies and telling them, you can't charge this much any more than this over. You can't manipulate the market, create a false deficit, and then monopolize off that deficit. You can't say, well, we've got enough material to make everything, but we're only going to make half enough and then charge 3 times as much for it and hold back the materials, because, that's, to me, should be treason. But they could do that, but they ain't going to do that because they're the same billionaires that own those companies are the same billionaires that own them. So they ain't going to do that. Congress ain't going to do that. President can't do it. Congress could do it. Guns and Gadgets is a cop from an anti-gun state, and even he recognizes cops are often anti-2A. Well, yeah, if they don't want citizens having guns. And he's a moron. He's a perfect example of a cop. He's a coward and a liar. How are your sons doing? Any snow there? Well, we have snow, but we only got about 6 inches. But then it got warm, cold, and it didn't snow anymore. But all the snow compacted from 6 inches of snow to about 4 inches of ice. So now walking over here, I got to be very careful because all the snow is compacted to a thick layer of ice where I walk over here. My stairs and stuff are clear, but because I cleared those. But anywhere there was snow, it's melted down into a thick layer of ice. So it's going to take forever for it to melt. And it's only 28 degrees here today. So it ain't melting today. How are that? Liberty Doll escaped the communist state of Massachusetts as well. Also, stop and frisk should terrify carriers. It should, because Trump wants stop and frisk for guns. So did the state of Washington. They wanted cops to be able to stop anyone they see with a gun or suspect of having a gun, to be able to stop them and ask them, are you meeting the requirements? That's stop and frisk. So I was not a big fan of that. And Trump wants that too. He said he wanted all cops to be able to stop people that have a gun and find out if those people should have guns. And then he wanted to give them full prosecutorial immunity if they violate someone's civil rights doing it. And I can't believe people still support Trump on guns after he said that. But they ignore it. It's these Trump people. They do not hear anything negative about Trump. They will not accept reality. It's like the teachers now. I was watching a thing about some teachers in Alabama, and I think it was Kansas. And they're like, I can't believe Trump cut our funding to our schools. Oh, I voted for him, but I didn't vote for that. Well, yes, you did, because that was one of the things they were going to try to do. That's one of their policies. They want to get rid of public education. So don't sit and fucking whine about that kind of shit. Pay attention to what you're voting for. But they did not. All along, they said, we're going to cut the education department. We're going to cut education funding. We're going to, do away with the Department of Education. And then they vote for him. And then they're like, oh, I never thought he'd do that. He told you the whole fucking time, but you didn't listen because you also heard, I'm going to get rid of the Mexicans. And that's all you heard. So I don't want to hear it. And I agree. I agree with you about getting rid of the Mexicans. I agree with it 100%. Getting rid of illegal immigrants or criminal immigrants. I agree. But I didn't ignore everything else he said. I paid attention to the other stuff he said too. Some people just want to hear the stuff that they like, and that's it. Where are we at? We out of time? Oh, we're way out of time. I've been talking for too long here. But I got to go out and get on the treadmill. But thanks everyone for coming today. I appreciate it. Sorry I didn't get to all the questions over in the live chat. We got close, but all right. Yeah, he said unfederalize the Department of Education. That means these states all get most of their funding from the feds because they're taker states, and that means, once you have to rely on your own state money for education, it's going to get cut severely. I'm like, pay attention. Don't just listen to the stuff you like when politicians talk. That's what they count on. And the Trumpers are like the worst of it. I've just never seen anybody as bad as them. Danny Pent says forward to animals. And that's going to be our last conversation of the day right there, our last comment of the day. So I want to thank everyone for coming today. I want to thank everyone for keeping the conversation going. You did too good job today because you got me distracted and I forgot we're way over time. But thanks for everything everybody does to help support the channel. I appreciate it. I should have that new design up probably tomorrow for those of you that want it and want to join the religion, the Phil religion. I will appreciate it. Like I said, thanks for everything you all do for the channel. I do appreciate it. I'll see y'all again tomorrow. Until then, remember, always carry and stay safe until I see you again.